I just dropped my son off at school. I actually took notes this morning because I was starting to get ideas of what I wanted to talk about while I was driving with him. And, you know, we have a routine in the morning on our ride to school. We actually have started listening to this story podcast called Froggy the Gator. So if you have young kids, even up to maybe even 10 years old, it's just a really great podcast to listen to. It's a storyline and they're short, so the stories are usually about 8 to 9 minutes, and on our 22-minute ride to school we can get through 2 and then also have a little bit of conversation time and our prayer time, and it's really cool. So I've noticed in this this lifetime of incremental attention spans, we kind of move and flit around from one thing to the other. And I've been working on training that out of myself, and I'm kind of laughing right now because I'm thinking that's not what I was planning on talking about, but I'll get there. So this flitting around, attention spans, the instant gratification of the scroll, we're in a life where that's a reality, but it's also one of those things that I try to be mindful. So long story short, if I'm listening to a Froggy the Gator that's 8 minutes with my son, in the past I definitely would have probably paused it and interrupted or even started talking while it was on. And then it dawned on me, in a classroom when a teacher is reading, interruptions are kind of frowned upon. They're disruptive. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I have ideas for this video, but I'm going to have my self-control intact and let my son finish listening to his story, that routine that we have. And I don't know, that is what it is. So anyways, I took a few notes because what I want to talk about today actually goes right alongside with the fact that it's the week of Thanksgiving. Today's Tuesday and our kids have the rest of the week off, and it's a thankful time of year. And I have been trying this year to have a daily thankfulness post on my Facebook account. The reason I do it, and it's funny because once you get into the 20s of the month, it starts to feel like I'm grasping at straws. You know, the first few days of the month, you start out real strong. You have the big things, the obvious things that pretty much everybody is thankful for. And then when you get into the days of the end of the month, you're kind of, you have to think a little bit more so you're not repeating yourself from the beginning of the month. And so it's helpful to have kind of a daily gratitude. And truly, the month of November, if I am doing thankfulness posts every day, that's kind of the time where I'm actually practicing thankfulness every day. But I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing to practice because, as I was talking with a sweet cousin of mine yesterday, thankfulness or gratitude, it's impossible to have a negative heart inside if you're thinking about things that you're thankful for. And it's funny because there's actually a Froggy the Gator storyline that talks about the gratitude challenge, I think is the title of that one. And basically, if you're feeling cranky, which I was yesterday, then you can kind of pause the crankiness thoughts and think about things that you're thankful for. And as an adult, I have the brain development to be able to switch gears like that. But kids, it's a little harder for them sometimes because they are emotional. And I'm not saying I'm not emotional, but kids can be a little more emotional, and teaching this type of practice doesn't always come easy. I know that the few times that I've tried it, because of course, you know, when you find something that is worthwhile and works, you want to teach it to your kids. And the few times that I've tried to do it recently, they don't really they don't really want to switch gears. They kind of want to be in their feelings, and I'm the kind of parent that will kind of allow them to feel their feelings, and then we discuss it afterwards when those strong feelings have passed and they're back to the reasoning stage. And it works for us, but I'm not gonna stop trying. I mean, I'll practice gratitude. I tend to have more of an optimistic outlook, so I do think when you have an optimistic outlook, it's easier to find something to be thankful for. I think it's also easier to I can't think of the word, think about or look at, reflect over why I'm feeling angry or cranky and kind of move on. Whereas a negative thinker might have a little bit more of a hard time at first. You know, negative thinking, well, pessimism and optimism are both, you kind of have a natural inclination to go one way or another. And then with years of doing things that certain way, habits can be formed. So I think that at the very least, you're kind of breaking a cycle if you're going to be aware of the fact that you're feeling a certain way and then choose to think of something that you're thankful for. So that's that. Also, in the spirit of thankfulness, I am going to share today that I am thankful that I had amazing grandparents to model to me what it looks like to be a Christian. These people, they both have passed away. My grandpa passed away when my 15-year-old was young, like a toddler, maybe not even a toddler. And then my grandma passed away right before my youngest son was born. And I will never let go of all of the intricate things that they taught me just by being. They had this life of true joy. They loved each other like I've never seen any couple love one another before. And they had daily practices where the Lord was front and center in their life, and they had fun. And so they were just amazing, wonderful people. I wish that, I mean, my oldest obviously had the chance to get to know them pretty well. I think she was about, I don't know, 6 or 7 maybe when my grandpa passed, and then obviously she was older when my grandma passed. But my youngest didn't get to meet them, and I can talk about them and I can remember them, and I'm gonna keep doing that. But they were just wonderful, and I'm grateful that I had that role model in my life. And as I get older, I realize how important it is to look at the good things that people do and pay attention to it and let it kind of shape who you are. And it's very easy, I believe it's in Proverbs, bad company corrupts good character. I have that on my door walking out, because I want us to remember that who we surround ourselves with has an impact on our character. And God's word says it, so it's true. And with that said, I'm grateful that I had good company as a child when I was so impressionable. And I can carry that with me as an adult, and I can strive to be that adult that is putting good marks on those around me, especially the kids. Not just my kids, but all kids. I mean, we have such a responsibility, especially in today's world, to be very mindful of how our actions affect others. And that could be a whole nother conversation. So I think I've talked long enough. I'm at the 9-minute and 30-second point. So I hope I gave you some things to chew on and think about. And I hope that you spend some time today practicing gratitude. And not just today, but as many days as you can squeeze it in. Or when those days come that you're feeling cranky, just remember, I challenge you to find things that you're thankful for, because there is always, always, always something. Even if it's intricate, it's something. So sit with that. I hope I encouraged you. Have a great Thanksgiving and have a great day.